Hey everybody, June 7th, the market update desk. It is the BLS, really meaning BS jobs report day. We're going to review it. We're going to talk about factors within the report that are completely bogus. And it's just really frustrating when we see these numbers. The market relies on these numbers. And in a lot of ways, the world economic system relies a lot on this data to be correct and nonpartisan. We're not seeing any of that. So it's just really annoying when all this comes out and the data is within the report that tells the truth. And it's just ignored both by the market, the media, and let's kind of get into it here. Yeah, it's kind of a frustrating today, if you can tell by my voice. Senior analyst Gibson kind of threw his pencil down in disgust today when he saw everything. The birth death model within the BLS establishment survey definitely reared its ugly head again this month. Now, the birth death model that uses imputed data that is also based on statistics over the last maybe 5 years to start to develop small business births and deaths and compute job gains or losses from that segment. Now, if you really think about it, haven't we had a lot of significant factors in the last 3 to 5 years within the economy, specifically small businesses? So the historical criteria and mathematics calculus should be thrown out the window. It doesn't apply today, but we're just not seeing that. One very interesting thing, there's actually two interesting things read today. So this week we got the quarterly census for employment and wages. That's basically going through real numbers for jobs, actual real numbers, and showing us what that was. So that gave us a net loss of 800 fewer jobs created in 2023 than what the BLS did. Now, this QCEW actually shows, like I said, real data, not the imputed, not forecasted, not modified, adjusted for politics, real numbers. It showed the BLS overstated numbers by 800,000 last year. Don't you think that's significant? And it also goes by 11.9 million companies when it creates these numbers, not just imputed data. So the BLS is showing that we have serious concerns about structural integrity within the data that's being produced. And this is a problem. Laci Hunt, premier economist, basically came out and calls this a total breakdown in the BLS numbers. That's a scary thought. When everything is built around a lot of this information, to have it come out point blank that bad is a scary thing. So specifically within the BLS, the market was expecting 185,000 jobs. And really, we thought it might even be less than that because of what came out with the JOLTS report and the ADP numbers on Wednesday. What did we get? 272,000 supposed jobs created. Let's break this down even further. There was actually a negative revision to last month of a downward 15,000. The market didn't see that as significant, but it is continued showings of declines in revisions, not increases, in bad data integrity from BLS. The birth death model showed a net positive jobs created for small businesses of 231,000 jobs. In comparison, the ADP report gave us a negative 10,000. So there is no correlation to reality within these numbers. The BLS is just flat out saying, we don't care what the real numbers are. We're just going to put stuff out there and we want to make it look better. They're not even trying to hide it at this point. Now, that's the establishment survey. Oh, I'm sorry. And deeper within that's the establishment survey. Within that birth death model, some really interesting things. I'm going to put some charts up on this. Leisure and hospitality, they showed grew by 89,000 jobs. It's in direct contrast to the ADP report that showed only 12,000. In fact, in the JOLTS report we got on Tuesday, it showed 109,000 fewer job openings. 89,000 minus 109. It's almost a 200,000 job swing from real data compared to BLS's imputed data. Scary stuff. Now that's the establishment survey. Now we're going to talk about the household survey. We've got apples and oranges going on here, folks, and it's frustrating when this stuff is being out there that has no sense, no reality to it. So in the household survey, it showed we lost 408,000 jobs, and total labor force participation dropped by 205,000. The participation rate went from 62.5 to 62.7. The U3 unemployment, that's the media-driven one, that's the one that's out there, did increase from 3.9 to 4%. But the real number we should be looking at is the U7. That's the all-inclusive unemployment, not the fake U3 that takes people out of the equation that have been looking for more than 4 weeks. That went to 7.4%. Now, what's interesting is if you took the 250,000 people that were removed from the labor force, added that back into the U3 unemployment, we'd be at 4.3% unemployment, folks. That is very significant because that has big impacts on Fed Reserve and monetary policy. So today's episode is unfortunately somewhat negative with just the bad data that's out there. And unfortunately, a lot of this gets revised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, or in the quarterly economic census, a year and 3 months after the real data, it doesn't get updated. Do we ever get that back in the market to the same degree for the mortgage-backed securities and 10-year treasuries? No. And this is what's bogus on what's going on out there, and we all need to understand this. Next week, we've got a scorcher of a week. We have Fed meeting. We have their statement of economic policy, SEP. We have the CPI and PPI coming out. So stay tuned. Let's hope we can claw back some of today's significant losses in the market. Give us a call. We'll post a lot of the data that we put today on the socials also. 616-293-2189. We're working all weekend to try to help you get a house. Take care.